Tua looking for Gesicki. He's got him for the touchdown.
Welcome to the most loyal fan base in the world. Starting out with the hometown, 305, around the world. From this town to that town, Fintown, showing how we get down. Dog fan for life. I don't like no other team. Aqua orange wardrobe. That's my favorite color team. NFL legends. And we still hovering. They can take us out, but I'm out. You ain't covering. Say it loud. And best believe respect is due.
So what's up, everybody? ¿Qué onda todos? ¿Cómo están? Por un momento me contagié del buen Stephen aquí. Chochos, adelante, es tu show. Tú lo vas a presidir.
Ah, fíjate, no me habían dicho. ¿Cómo están todos?
What's up? I don't know what you just said, but what's up? I have no idea what you just said, but hello.
Hello,
it's part of the
Stephen.
show, man. We're going to tell a lot of things in Spanish so you can understand.
I just know I don't know much. I don't know much, guys. I don't.
I know, man. But we are going to speak in Spanish a lot so you can understand anything.
Okay, so you guys will talk about me and make fun of me in Spanish. It's all good. Just
Count on it. Count on it.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't worry about it.
We're good.
We have Boris and myself have each other to make fun of, so we'll be busy with that.
Fine.
Okay.
We'll make fun of him.
Cool.
Hago introducción. Bienvenidos todos, Hellfins, ¿cómo están? Muy buenas noches. Tenemos un invitadazo especial. This night we have Stephen as our guest. Stephen is the boss's boss, is Armando's boss. So we're going to take this with the respect it deserves. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm so excited to be here. We've been trying to do this for a couple of weeks now, and couldn't get everybody to get the right time in, but we're here. It's great, and I'm excited. And I just want to say before we get started, and I'll say it again when Armand gets up here, you guys have been killing it. You guys have been doing so good, and you've been growing, and you've been doing your own thing. And I pretty much gave you the keys to the car and said, let you guys just do what you guys do. And there's times I feel like I'm not present enough, and I apologize for that. I probably should be a more hands-on person, but I'm very proud of what you guys do. I think you guys have something, and it's growing, and that's what it's about. It's about consistency, which you guys are, and it's about, having good products and or good content, which you guys have good content, and it's growing, and I don't care if it's by 5 or 10 people per show. Your show seems to have more and more people watch it each time, even if it's by a couple, and that's fine. One day you're going to say something crazy, it's going to go viral, and 1 million people are going to watch, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be good times.
We hope that. Chochos, ¿quieres traducir para tener esta nueva dinámica?
Antes que nada quisiera saludar a todos. Hola, Hellbros, gracias a los que ya están aquí. Good evening, Stephen. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I'm going to translate a little bit what you say for our Hellbros don't speak English, so I will try to translate.
No habla español.
Okay. Stephen no habla español, and algunos de ustedes nos han dicho que cuando tenemos programas en inglés, tratar de tener una traducción. Intentaremos mantener el ritmo, y les agradecemos a los que ya están aquí. Lo que quieren preguntarle a Stephen, pues, se lo haremos, poco a poco lo iremos preguntando, ¿no? Básicamente Stephen nos está felicitando, cosa que es gracias a ustedes, el crecimiento del programa de HELLFINS. Básicamente él nos comenta que él nos dio las llaves del coche y pues afortunadamente todavía no lo estrellamos, ¿no? Entonces, pues vamos a darle esta noche. Entonces, le haremos las preguntas en inglés a Stephen y trataremos de ir traduciendo poquito a poco conforme va avanzando el show. So, Stephen, every time we have a guest here, a new guest at the show, Armando, who will join us hopefully very soon, always ask them, as every guest on our show, how did you become a Miami Dolphins fan?
well, that's a long story, but I guess we're here for it. So, I became a Miami Dolphins fan. My father was born and raised in Connecticut. Okay. So a lot of Patriot fans in Boston, everything where he grew up. But for some reason, he liked the Celtics. He liked the Red Sox. He liked the Bruins. But he liked the Miami Dolphins when it came to football. And he collected football cards as a kid. And so I used to have, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have like I had like 1974, 1975 Miami Dolphin Topps football cards. Okay. And what was really cool about those cards is my dad had them. And, that was one of the very first things I ever got as a Miami Dolphins fan. And so at that time, I was born in 1988 because I'm just a little bit younger than you guys, just a little bit. And
but younger.
And handsome, more handsome, right?
Yeah,
more handsome.
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
It's not that hard.
So what was really cool about that is and watching that, Dan Marino was big, right? Dan Marino was the guy, and so for me growing up, I grew up seeing Marino. Marino was the guy that, everybody liked, everybody enjoyed, and so my dad got me to be a big Dan Marino fan. There's pictures, there's photos of me when I'm 5 years old, 6 years old in a Miami Dolphins Dan Marino jersey and helmet for Halloween. Wow. So I've been a Dolphins fan ever since I was a little kid. And I grew up in a military family. And so I lived all up and down the East Coast, North Carolina. I spent a lot of summers. I never lived in Florida, but I spent a lot of summers in Cocoa Beach area, and spent a lot of summers in New York with my cousins and my aunt and my uncle. And, we lived in Maryland, we lived in North Carolina, we lived in Virginia, and different parts in all three of those states. And so I never really was tied to one place. But the one thing that was always constant in my life was the Miami Dolphins. I could always count on them every year to be there. I knew that was something that would never change. And
let me translate, my friend. Let me translate, because if I don't,
I know I said a lot.
But yeah.
First of all,
it's going to be a lot.
But it's not just before you translate.
Okay.
You were talking about your dad, who is from the New England area.
Yes. Yep.
And because we have a very prominent fan from the Dolphins, from the Dolphins Nation, Mexico. His name is Ruben. He's a Bruins fan, a Red Sox fan, and a Celtics fan, and a Miami Dolphins fan. And he is a really, really, really old guy. So it's like he's your father.
I don't think he's my dad, but hey, maybe
maybe he's your grandfather, because
maybe
he's really old.
Mexican in me. You could be. We don't know. Maybe you might be onto something there.
I don't think.
Paris, por favor.
He's your dad, man. I don't see the resemblance at any time. But I'm going to translate as long as I can remember, man. So
I'm sorry.
So here I go.
I'm here to help.
I'll make my answers shorter.
Okay.
No. Expand yourself as much as you want.
Ok. Bueno, Stephen nos comenta, este es un nuevo formato que queremos intentar cada vez que tengamos entrevistados de habla del inglés, porque sentimos que se pierde mucho si nada más platicamos en español para toda la gente, si nada más platicamos en inglés para toda la gente que no habla ese mismo idioma. Entonces, tratamos de hacer esta dinámica con Stephen, que es el jefe y que nos puede tener la paciencia que merecemos, o bueno, que merece esto. Siendo así, chochos, si se me olvida algo, adelante. Stephen nos comenta que él se vuelve fan de los Dolphins porque su papá vive o ellos vivían en el área de Connecticut, que geográficamente está a la parte noreste de Estados Unidos, o sea, muy cerca a Nueva Inglaterra, y que su papá es fan.
Que pertenece a Nueva Inglaterra.
Ajá. Ah, bueno, eso es todavía más geográfico como yo. Ya llegó el patrón Armando, pero ahorita lo retomamos porque si no se me va el pedo, mi querido patrón. Nos comenta que su papá es fan de los Celtics, fan de los Bruins, fan de, no sé si de los Red Sox too, your father,
Red Sox.
Stephen?
Red
Sox also, ¿sí?
All the Boston teams.
Ajá, él le va a todos los equipos de Boston, pero que su papá le va a los Miami Dolphins y que él ha vivido a lo largo porque sus papás son militares y allá los militares se mueven por todo el país. Él se ha movido por toda la costa este y su constante siempre han sido el equipo. Entonces los Miami Dolphins representan para él una estabilidad que no ha tenido en la forma en que él ha vivido por toda la costa este. No sé si se me fue algo, chochos.
Pues básicamente Stephen también comenta que Dan Marino fue gran parte del por qué él se volvió fan de los Delfines de Miami. Él menciona que él nació en 1988, lo cual lo hace más joven que el 90% de toda la Dolphins Nation en México. Y pues él creció viendo a Dan Marino, ¿no? Y que esa fue una de las grandes constantes durante sus años formativos, el ver a Dan Marino con los Dolphins de Miami. Y le damos la bienvenida al mismísimo patrón, a Armando Basurto. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Nos escuchas?
Claro, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, mi querido Chochos? Mi querido Paris, how you doing, my man? Steven Daniels in the house, man.
Goal! Yeah, I'm sorry, got a little carried away. What's up, man? How's it going?
What's up, man? You look great,
I miss you, but
Steve.
you look great. Stop it. You look great.
Come on, man. Get out of the room.
Don't be
están,
jealous,
queridos
guys.
amigos de
We're gonna, me and Armand, we have a moment here. Let us have our moment, okay?
Ok, ¿cómo están mis queridos amigos de HELLFINS? Un gusto poder saludarlos el día de hoy. Muy contento de estar aquí con todos ustedes. Mi querido Paris, mi querido Chochos, ¿cómo están? Un gusto estar aquí con ustedes. Buenas noches.
Y pues Armando, ya que andas por aquí, ya le preguntamos a Stephen cómo se volvió fan de los Dolphins. No sé si quieres hacerle una pregunta a continuación.
Sí, claro. Steven, who is your favorite Dolphins player of all time?
Ray Finkel.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing. Ray Finkel's not my favorite.
Laces out.
The laces were in. They were in. Such a great movie. Look, the easy answer is Dan Marino, right? But and he's probably the most obvious, and he is. So I like to give answers that aren't Dan Marino. And so for me growing up, I enjoyed watching O.J. McDuffie. I enjoyed watching, who, by the way, was on my morning show this morning as my guest and was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
I know. And he was so good. He's just such a good guy. For me, it was Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Brock Marion, Patrick Surtain. I mean, those guys on defense those were the guys that I felt, that made me. Marino's obvious, right? But those guys, that was a fun team to watch. That defense was fun. And so, it's hard to say that I have one favorite player. Marino's the reason I'm a Dolphins fan. There's no other way to say it than that. But O.J. McDuffie is probably number 2. And then all those other guys that I just named, because I loved watching OJ. I thought OJ McDuffie was just absolutely amazing.
Okay.
¿Las chochas tú? ¿Cómo ves?
Sí, bueno, básicamente el patrón le preguntó a Stephen cuál es su jugador favorito de todos los tiempos de los Dolphins. Él menciona que, pues, como en su pregunta, en lo que comentaba antes, ¿no? La respuesta obvia es Dan Marino, pero que entre otros también está O.J. McDuffie, que el día de hoy estuvo en su programa en la mañana. No se olviden de todas las mañanas sintonizar Clock Brokers de lunes a viernes. Hoy estuvo a O.J. McDuffie y pues mencionó obviamente a jugadores como Zach Thomas, Brock Marion, Jason Taylor, Patrick Surtain, todos esos jugadores en la defensiva, ¿no? Obviamente el obvio es Dan Marino, pero quería darnos una respuesta adicional y tal vez para Stephen su número 2 es O.J. McDuffie, ¿no? Entonces, básicamente lo que nos comenta. Y pues, Paris, no sé si tengas alguna pregunta para Stephen. Debes tener
Okay,
muchas.
yes, I have a question for you. Well, I have some questions for you, but I'm going to start with you. Stephen, who wins wide receiver number 4 and who wins running back number 4 in this roster?
You know, it's so funny because those guys, I talk about it a lot on my morning show a lot, that you know, they're what's the word I'm looking for? They are they're the last guys on the bubble. They're the last guys on the roster, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you look at here's what it is, right? You go running back, you got to go Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, and then Alec Ingold's making that team, right? So he's going to be that third running back or the third back in that room. And then you got Sony Michel. You got
Miles Gaskin.
Yeah, Miles Gaskin. I don't know why I wanted to say somebody else's name, but yeah, you had Miles Gaskin, and you got not Duke Johnson. You got the guy Salvin Ahmed, and the guy that we got last year, Jared Dokes. Yeah. So look, if you're asking me who that fourth running back is going to be, I think it's going to be Sony Michel, and I think that Miles Gaskin isn't making this squad. You know, and he's been the RB1 for the last 2 or 3 years here.
3 years. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if he makes the team. I don't. And it has nothing else to do other than the talent that is currently on this roster is so there's just no room for him right now. That's what I think. As far as wide receivers concerned, you got to go Tyreek, Jalen, 1 and 2, right? And third is probably going to be Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
And 4, in my opinion, is going to be Easy Eric Easy as
whatever pronounce.
I just call him Easy E. Easy E is probably the fourth wide receiver, but then, you know, those last 2 roster spots, you got 4 guys going for it. You got Preston Williams, is not Albert Wilson. Is it Albert Wilson?
No.
Who's Lynn Bowden? Lynn Bowden.
Yeah.
It's Lynn Bowden, Preston Williams, Trent Sherfield, and
the guy from San Francisco.
The other guy they brought in. The other guy from San Francisco.
The Crabtree? No.
Lynn Bowden Jr.
No, I already said Lynn Bowden.
No.
Yeah. I don't have the roster up. See? Let me put the roster up and all. Miami.
The guy who came from San Francisco.
Our lads. I got it right here.
No, it's the
River Craycraft. Craycraft.
That's it.
Okay.
So Craycraft. So if McDaniel went out and got River Craycraft and he got Trent Sherfield to come and be on the roster, you got to think that Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden are probably gone. They're probably not going to make the team. So to answer your question, I know you said the fourth. I think the fourth wide receiver is probably Eric Ezukama.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I think they're going to keep 5. I think they're going to keep 6 wide receivers. And the question is which two do they keep? And I think, honestly, Lynn Bowden and Preston Williams are going to be on the outside looking in, but we'll see in training camp. Like those last 2 spots we'll see in training camp and preseason.
Also, Rivercraft, one day in the OTAs, Rivercraft won the orange jersey about the best
he's already been a leader. He's already been a leader.
So it seems that he's on the lead.
And McDaniel loves him. McDaniel loves him.
Yeah, because he knows the system.
Yeah, and the speed. There's just so much speed on this roster from top to bottom, right? So you're looking at the team right now. Jalen, Tyreek, Eric, and Cedric Wilson. They all are fast. Like they're super fast. They're not kind of fast. They're super. Like they're really, really fast. And that doesn't include what you got coming out of the backfield with Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert. You know, so I don't know. I believe in one thing on this team. The Dolphins will lead the NFL in yards after catch this year. Yak. They will lead the league in yards after catch this year. Because a 2-yard slant pass can be a 50-yard touchdown with this team very easily.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
Chochos, ¿traduces? Armando, ¿quieres traducir?
El que quiera.
Chochos.
Ok. Bueno, más que nada, Paris le pregunta a Stephen acerca de quién él piensa que va a ser el receptor número 4 y el corredor número 4 en el roster final para la semana 1. Stephen proyecta, obviamente, lo que todos proyectamos, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle y Cedric Wilson como 1, 2, 3 en el cuarto de receptores. Y en el cuarto, pues a Easy Eric Sukuma, o como se pronuncie, como el cuarto receptor. Y pues él piensa que van a ser 6 receptores. Él cree que Rivercraft se me olvida. Y está ahí, que yo también creo que muy probablemente va a estar en el roster, lo cual piensa que Preston Williams y Lynn Bowden tienen sus días contados probablemente en el roster. Hablando del cuarto de corredores, pues los recién llegados Mostert y Edmonds son los que están, digamos que ahí liderando, y como el número 3, él espera pues uno de los fullbacks, ¿no? Ingold o Lovett, Stephen menciona a Ingold, y el cuarto corredor podría ser Stephen pronostica, respondiendo a Paris, que sea Sonny Michel, dejando a Miles Gaskin, que ha sido el corredor número 1 prácticamente las últimas 3 temporadas, fuera del equipo, ¿no? Es básicamente lo que menciona Stephen, que pues obviamente también tiene que ver mucho con lo que trae el coach McDaniel para esta temporada, los recién llegados. Stephen, there's so many storylines right now involving the Miami Dolphins. A rookie head coach, embattled quarterback, high-profile wide receiver coming to the team, and so many other things about the Dolphins. But what would you think would be the number 1 storyline during the season for the Miami Dolphins?
That's a good question. You're right. Like, there are so many storylines with this roster. There are so many things to think about, right? Like, to just add a few to what you've already said. Is Jalen Waddle is his receptions gonna go down because of the squad? I asked Sam Madison. I asked OJ McDuffie that this morning, and OJ said he thinks it's gonna go up. I think it's gonna go down, right? What does Mike Gesicki do now that they didn't extend his contract? How does that look for him playing out into the season and going into next year possibly? What does Coach McDaniel do? Is this let's call it, I talk about it a lot on my morning show. Is he on a 1-year deal? Is he pretty much saying, hey, look, you guys need to make the playoffs or bust, or we're going to get rid of everybody and bring in Sean Payton or some other big name head coach? Like, I think that's something that we need to put in the back of the minds, that God forbid worst case scenario happens. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. I do think that the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs. I think that Tua is going to have a big year. I think that McDaniel was the right hire for offensive side of the ball, but though there's still storylines nonetheless, correct? And if you're asking me what the biggest one is, I mean, you got to go with the most, polarizing figure on the team, and that's Tua. He's got to step up this year. Now, there is a side of me that has said he doesn't have to step up big. He can pretty much do what he's done, make a few progressions. I'm not saying he needs to be exactly what he's been. He needs to make a little progression, but he doesn't need to go out and be a Pro Bowl type quarterback in order for this team to take it to be not a Super Bowl contending team, but a playoff contending team, right? I think that the pieces they moved around him and the offense that we hope gets installed by Mike McDaniel, I think is good enough to work with what we already have in Tua. Now, there are people that disagree with me with that, and that's fine. But what I will say is Tua, to me, has already shown, you know what, he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL and get you and put you in positions to win football games. He's a game manager. I don't think he loses you football games, and that's ultimately what I want my guy to do. Now, what I would love to have a Patrick Mahomes slinging the ball 400, 300, 400 yards a game. Do I think Tua's that guy? No. But I think that Tua can have some 300-yard games this year, but they're going to come from yards after catch. It's about executing that offensive system that McDaniel's going to implement. And for me, that's what I see as the big storyline is, will Tua take what's been given to him, which is an upgraded offensive line, a playbook that is hopefully catered to how you already play, to your strengths, and are you going to be able to execute on that and prove the haters and the Tua haters and the negative people in the media, or the national media pundits, are you going to be able to prove them wrong? So Tua's the biggest storyline for the Miami Dolphins this coming up season. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Okay. And just to round up a little bit of what you're saying, why do you think Tua has been this polarizing figure? Because in the sports world, we're used to the polarizing figures are like Dennis Rodman, or really outspoken guys, cocky guys.
And Tua's not that.
Terrell Owens. And Tua seems to be a really down-to-earth, nice guy. Why? What's going on? Why does he catch so much heat?
Well, I good question. I think two reasons for that.
So much fire.
I think two reasons for that. I think one reason that you will see is this fan base has been jonesing and itching for a quarterback since Dan Marino. Somebody that can take us to that next level, make us contenders. And it starts at quarterback, whether we like to think so or not, right? Like, we can go take our finger and point to history where there have been football teams to win Super Bowls without great quarterbacks, but they're few and far between. So we know the overall, medicine of what you need to fix a football team is get a starting quarterback that can win you football games, right? A quarterback that can get you to that next level. So part of the reason that the fan base is split or he's so polarizing is because there's so many things. His injury happened when it happened, right? We were tanking for Tua, gets the injury. Are we still tanking for Tua? What are we doing? I think the organization as a whole, I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen Ross. Now, I'll say this offseason, Stephen Ross did exactly what we wanted him to do as fans. He opened up his checkbook and just signed his name to anybody we wanted this offseason. You can't be mad at Stephen Ross this offseason. You can't. Can't do it. So, and you're talking to somebody who's a big Stephen Ross critic. Like, I give that man a lot of flack. But I will say that this fan base, there's some of it that's just over the mediocrity that are the Miami Dolphins for the last 25 years. We haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years, guys. Like, we're over it. We are over it. We want to see a playoff win. We don't just want to make the playoffs. We want to win a freaking playoff game. And the fan base is just, for lack of a better use of words, they're done. They're just done. They're over it. No excuses. You went out, you made all the offseason signings. You had a chance to go upgrade at quarterback. You decided not to. You're sticking with this guy. That's fine if that's how you choose to do it. Win. You don't have an option not to. That is the only good possible outcome for the Miami Dolphins this year. Make the playoffs, win a playoff game. Anything less than that is a failure. Point blank. It is.
You supposedly have to make me easier to translate, my friend.
I'm sorry.
So, voy a tratar de recordar todo lo que dijeron. aquí Chochos creo que me puede auxiliar un poco, pero Chochos le pregunta a Stephen cuál es la mejor storyline. Tiene una traducción rara, no creo que haya una traducción al español como tal,
Pues
pero
las
¿cuál
historias.
es la historia? Ajá, ¿cuál es la
De todas las
historia que
historias.
más... Ajá, ¿cuál es la historia que más será, que será la más importante en la temporada del equipo? Y Stephen menciona algunas varias, por ejemplo, que Mike es un entrenador novato, y veremos si un entrenador novato puede hacer funcionar la ofensiva del equipo, porque para eso se trajo, para hacer funcionar la ofensiva. Mencionó también que si Waddle va a tener más o menos recepciones que la temporada pasada, y mencionó que en su programa de la mañana del día de hoy, que les recomiendo mucho que lo vean, estuvo O.J. McDuffie en su show, y él mencionó que O.J. McDuffie dijo que iba a haber más, iba a tener Waddle más recepciones, y él menciona que menos recepciones, o sea, Stephen menciona que menos recepciones, y alguna otra historia que ya no recuerdo más, pero él cree que la historia que va a ser más importante para el equipo es la que nos ha polarizado a toda la afición Dolphin, Tua Tagovailoa, y él cree que es un quarterback que va a hacer funcionar al equipo y que no necesita que el equipo sea... Adelante, Chochos.
No, denme un momento, ahorita regreso.
Ok. Él no necesita que Tua sea un jugador espectacular, solamente necesita que haga lo que ha hecho hasta ahorita, que es llevar el equipo bien y a triunfos puestos. No es un jugador que nos haga perder el partido como tal, es un jugador cumplidor hasta ahorita. Él quiere, nos pregunta que si él cree que, o él quiere que Tua sea ese jugador como Mahomes. Sí, por supuesto. Él cree que va a pasar, no tanto, pero el equipo no lo necesita, porque la ofensiva que va a establecer Mike McDaniel va a ser una ofensiva que no necesite que su quarterback ejecute ese tipo de partidos, sino más bien no nos haga perder, todo lo demás lo va a hacer él. Y no lo mencionó, pero yo creo que también la defensiva. No sé, Armando, si se me esté pasando algo.
No, está bien, París. Muy buena la traducción.
¿Tú le quieres preguntar algo o voy yo?
Sí, claro, por supuesto, por
Vas.
supuesto.
Stephen, here goes Armand.
You're gonna be explored tonight, sir.
I love it.
You already talked a little bit about it, but what do you think, Steven, about Steve Rose?
Stephen Ross?
Yes, sir.
You know, there are a lot of words and adjectives that maybe don't translate well into Spanish that I have to feel about Stephen Ross. And it's a love-hate. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. So when I think of bad owners, right, in sports, I got to go Daniel Snyder of the Washington Commanders. I think he's a horrible owner, right? I got to go with, I'm glad I don't have Jerry Jones, right? Jerry Jones is somebody who sticks his hand in literally everything that has to do with that franchise. And I'm not a huge fan of that, right? Like, leave football to football people, you know? There's another side of me that is I going to other sports, right? Other sports.
What about Donald Sterling?
Donald Sterling was horrible for the Clippers, right? I live in Baltimore, Maryland. So Peter Angelos for the Baltimore Orioles, in my opinion, is one of the worst owners in all of sports, if not the worst. All right. But one thing that I can say about Stephen Ross is he spends money. He's willing to spend money and put it back into the team, right? You can't ever say he hasn't spent money. You can't ever say that he hasn't, tried to. I don't think he's made the best decisions when it's come to, the fan experience, but I think he's seen mistakes that he's made and they've corrected them. But the one thing that I can say about him is he's never been able to get the right people through the door. So his talent evaluation of making the right people run this organization, I have questioned for a very long time. And whether you are okay with them tanking or not, right? Like, we're not talking about the morality or how you feel. Should a team tank? Should you lose on purpose to get the number 1 draft pick or not? We're not talking about that. The fact of the matter is he tried to do it and still couldn't even cheat correctly, right? You couldn't even do that right? So I don't trust him is my thing. I don't trust him. And it's not that I don't trust him for the morality side of things. I'm just like, whatever way you go, you haven't been like, there's the rumor that just came out this past week that supposedly we offered Sean Payton a 10-year deal for $100 million. That's $10 million a year. But the moment that the Flores situation came out, he backed away, right? We had a chance to go get Tom Brady the last couple of years. Couldn't close those deals, right? Those are rumors. We don't know if they're true or not, but I can tell you personally, I am not a huge fan of him. I don't trust him. But what I will say, I'll give him credit where credit's due. He's put money back into the team. He's put money back into the stadium. And this offseason, he did exactly what I want an owner to do. Shut the heck up. Let the football people who make the decisions on football run it and have an open checkbook to whoever they want to bring in. And he did that this offseason. He spent the money. So you can't get mad at Stephen Ross this offseason. But how do I feel if I had to put it in one word? Frustrating. He's very frustrating.
But do you think he has done everything he can to make the team better?
This offseason? Yes.
No, every in all his span.
It's a good question.
I'm concerned about your doubting it because I think he has done that. But let me.
You think he has done everything? I think he's been very. What's the word I want to use? He has stood behind every decision that he's made, but the decisions that he's made for this franchise have not been right. We've had 8 different head coaches, right? The last 8 head coaches of this franchise, or the last 7 or 8, I forget which one. First-time head coaches. All wrong decisions, right? And there's the rumor of, does Greer take some of this responsibility, right? Now, Greer's been in the building for 20 years, but we had Mike Tannenbaum. That's what I call him, Mike Tannenbaum, not Tannenbaum, because he's a bum. I don't like Mike Tannenbaum. We've had Mike Tannenbaum in the building for years before that. We had Jeff Fireland in the building before that. But who's putting these guys in charge? Stephen Ross is.
Stephen Ross, yeah.
So I can't get mad at those guys. They did what they thought was going to work. It didn't work out. But you know who keeps on making the wrong decision time and time again? Stephen Ross.
But I think, and I want to reply you, I think that's because he's inexperienced to manage, or for managing sports team in general and the Miami Dolphins in particular. So I think he has done everything he can to make the team better, but the decisions he had made are bad. Not the right ones.
Correct. So that's a perception, right? That's how you view it and I view it, right? Yeah. Of course. I don't disagree with you. I think he has done everything within his power to do it. But little decisions, right? Like if you were going to tank, right? Let's just throw it out there. If you were going to tank,
mm-hmm.
Why bring Flores into the building? You know Flores is a man of integrity and a man of a certain stature. You have 1 million people that you can choose from to be the head coach that I'm sure would tank and lose on purpose and not give you any fuss about it and would do it, right? Now, I'm not saying that's what you should have done. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not saying that's what they should have done. I'm just saying that if that's the decision you wanted to make as an owner, You could have easily got somebody in there to make that decision, to help you move that decision forward, right? If you wanted Tom Brady to come through the building, then you should have said, F everything else. Let me get Tom Brady. Tom, I'll talk to you directly. What do you want? Okay, let's make it happen. If Flores was the guy that you were going to go with, and by the way, it was, then Flores should have been, like, you should have put everything you had backing up Flores, not Chris Greer. So it's, I don't trust Stephen Ross, because it's decisions like that that have made him, that have made me as a fan question, are you the person that's right, right person to be running the ship? Because you obviously, even when you try to make a decision, it still turns out to be the wrong one. You can't even mess up right. You can't lose right. You can't cheat right. There's nothing he has done that has totally been right. And so I hope that this time's different. I hope that the 15th time's the charm, but I don't know. I don't trust him. That's what I'm not saying that he hasn't done everything within his power, but is that enough for me as a fan to question, is he the No, you do better. Be better. As an owner, be better.
Okay.
Okay, and sorry to step up on the question. Sorry,
Okay.
Paris.
Okay.
Perdón que se me fue la luz, pero ya regresé. Stephen, about Stephen Ross. Sometimes what I think about him is that he's a filthy rich guy who is used to fix everything with money.
Money. Yep.
And some of the moves that he has done over the past with the Dolphins, for me, it's like that mentality with, doesn't matter, I have the money, so I can fix it. And in the NFL, it's not that easy to fix it with money. I mean, money is still a big thing, but it's
Correct.
not everything. It moved back in the day with Tony Sparano.
Yep.
When he was looking for a different head coach, while Sparano was still here.
Correct.
It gets me like he has a lot of money. He's used to that money solves everything, and it solves a lot of things, but not everything.
So to Paris's point, right? Paris brought up the point of, well, he doesn't know how to run a professional sports franchise. That's true. He's right about that. But he's one of the smartest businessmen in the history of our country. He's smart. You don't have to agree with his politics or anything, but the dude is smart. He's a multi-billionaire for a reason. He understands business at its finest. But when it comes to running a sports franchise, you have to understand a couple of things as an owner. Number one, do I have the mental capacity to run a particular sporting franchise? Like, do I know that sport inside and out? No, but okay, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you're not going to, then it's up to you to find competent, capable people to run that team, right? So then it goes to, okay, well, who are you running? Well, Mike Tannenbaum wasn't the guy with the Jets, and he damn sure wasn't the guy with us. So what gave you the the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And we have clearly, as a franchise, as an organization, over the last 15 to 20 years, seen the same thing multiple times in different forms. We have. So, why is this news to everybody when it doesn't work? Now, I personally think there is a few things different. I don't want to talk about this time because the book is still out on this time, and I'm optimistic. You're asking me questions. I know I sound very negative right now. I'm not trying to be negative. You're asking me a question about him. I want to answer it in full on how I feel. But I also don't want the narrative to be that Stephen doesn't believe in. And no, I believe in what we're doing right now. I think that this is the right decision. Now, I could be wrong. And a year from now, we could be having the same discussions again. And God forbid that's the case. I hope that's not the case. But it just boils down to one thing when it comes to Ross. And I say it again. I don't trust him. And it's not that I don't trust. It's not that I don't think he's not trying. I think he's trying. It's not that I don't think he wants to win. I think he probably I would maybe even say he wants to win more than anybody else, so he could throw it back in a fan like my face and say, I told you so. I told you I was doing the right thing. We'd get there eventually. I want Stephen Ross to shut me up. Tell me that you're doing the right thing. Let me know. God, all I want is a winner, Mr. Ross. That's it. Just put a winner on the field, and I'll shut up. But, you know, I just, right now, he's not giving me any indication or any reasoning to trust him. So you got to change my mind on the field. You have to change my mind in the win-loss column. And that's where I'm at with the Dolphins and Stephen Ross.
No, okay.
Okay. The only conclusion I have is I have to take notes about the translation because I can keep them. We're going to go with the messages, the comments of the people who is listening to us and seeing us. Pero básicamente, digo, Armando, igual tú hiciste la pregunta, tú me puedes ayudar mucho con la traducción, pero básicamente le preguntaste que qué opina de Stephen Ross y él básicamente dice que no cree en él, que no cree que es una persona que pueda llevar al equipo. Bueno, no dijo eso como tal, pero sí dijo que no le tiene confianza suficiente y que si la va a tener, es que se la debe de ganar poniendo un equipo ganador en el campo de juego. Yo le pregunté sobre si él no cree que Ross ha hecho todo lo posible para poder hacer el equipo un equipo ganador. Él cree que sí, pero que las decisiones que ha tomado han sido erróneas. Y cita ejemplos como que pone a Flores y quiere perder, entonces eso es contradictorio, o que quiera a Tom Brady, pero no pone todo lo que necesita Tom Brady para ganar. Entonces, hay muchas contradicciones en la administración de Ross y él quiere que Ross le demuestre, bueno, todos, ¿verdad? Pero él en particular quiere que Ross le demuestre que puede poner un equipo ganador. Vamos a los comentarios. Podemos traducir al inglés y al español, dependiendo de cómo estén. Ricacha is a listener from us, man. He's here every Tuesday. He says, more than ready, greetings, masters.
Greetings.
Ok, saludos.
Gracias, Ricacha.
Ajá, el buen Emilio pone en inglés Hello HELLFINS. Desde que esto está en Miami Sports Music, when are we gonna hear? Vamos a ver que Paris y Chochos lo rompan.
No, basically, Emilio wants us, every show wants us to rap.
No, that's Solo D's job. That's why
exactly that. Exactly that.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
We leave the rapping to Solo. We'll do the sports commentary and the sports analyzing and stuff like that. Solo raps. We do the content. We do everything else. Okay?
And Emilio understands that. So this doesn't need a translation.
Well, tell him I'm the boss, and that's what I said. So it goes. That's final.
Okay. Francisco, do you know what he's saying? What he's writing here? Buenas noches. Good night.
Oh, good night. I'm not ready. I am kind of tired, but I've got to remember I did a morning show this morning, fellas, and then worked all day, and then and then I have 2 kids and.
Yeah, I know, man.
Exhausted, but I'm staying up for you guys. I'm not done. I got a little bit more in me, brother Stephen. Yeah. Greetings from the sister republic of taco and good beer. It is Taco Tuesday.
Today is Taco Tuesday, but what you have is not.
Do you guys have that? Yeah, I was about to say in Mexico. Do you guys have do you all have Taco Tuesday?
No,
that's not a thing.
Is
we Americans mess up everything. I get it. I understand.
But every day is Taco Day here in Mexico.
Every day's Taco Day. In America, we get one day. In Mexico, you get every day.
Every day. It's just food for us.
I get you. We're not cool enough to have every day. We just got to limit it to one.
Okay. Francisco Pantoja says, welcome, Stephen. Nice you're here with us. Lo saluda.
Muchas gracias.
Michelle Martinez dice, I'm glad to hear you. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Manolo dice, hola, Stephen.
Hola,
hola.
Manalo.
Okay. Jorge Vadillo says, greetings, Miss Masters, success. That's the translation. Emilio, we can still say to Armando, el patrón, the boss in Spanish. And we can tell you the boss, so it's okay.
So who's the boss? That's what we need to know. Can't have two bosses.
California theme for life. It was
crap. Yeah, that was earlier in the conversation.
Okay, California. I think he says
Mozart.
Yeah. Okay, Jamie Bahamas.
Jamie, what's up, Jamie, buddy? How are you, man? Shout out to Jamie.
Gigi, do you know Gigi?
I feel like if I say no,
I don't know if she's a he or a she, but
Gigi, I appreciate it. I agree. We need to beat Buffalo.
Yeah. And he says this: all my family are Bills fans.
Well, we can't choose the family that we're born into, but we can choose the family that we root into. Let's go, Dolphins.
Let's go, Dolphins. Blue Virus, what's up? Emilio Zamora. This is the baby dolphin. We told Emilio's sons the baby dolphin. He's the baby dolphin. So he says hi to us. This is mine. This is mine. Gigi. This is Tom, huge Dolphins fan all my life. My wife is a Ravens fan. Gigi's a man. I grew up Buffalo country. Marino versus Kelly will lose everything every time when we went to the game, except from the Christmas Eve.
Gigi, are you coming to the game here in Baltimore? So shameless plug, y'all. If y'all are the Baltimore beatdown in 2022, let's go. You can get your tickets now. Right here, Baltimore beatdown, Dolphins versus Ravens. Buy them on tailgreeter.com, TAILGREETER for the Baltimore beatdown 2022. We got tickets to the game. We got a tailgate. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, please.
Shameless plug.
Don't worry about it.
I wasn't.
Life in York, Pennsylvania. Is that PA? Pennsylvania?
Live in New York, PA. Now, Gigi, you got to come to the game in Baltimore. Week 2.
Okay. Osiris Escalante, buenas noches, bola de fins. No manchen, uno se desacostumbra. Good night.
Ponte al tiro, Osiris.
Yeah. Whatever. Ruben has a nice question for you.
Okay.
Good night. Why do you think? Do you, Stephen, think this season is going to be different from the 20 years before we have?
Well, the ultimate question is, why am I optimistic for this year, right? Like, I'm excited for this year for a couple of reasons. Number one, I said last year, if we could just bring in an offensive-minded person into this team to change how we look at the offense and revamp the offense, I think that this team would, and not change anything on the defense for the most part. I think we'd have a couple more wins right off the bat, right? And I'm not wrong in that feeling, right? We came out, we went and got Mike McDaniel. We left Josh Boyer as the defensive coordinator. Everything's structurally the same. I don't think we lost anybody. Kept Emmanuel Ogbah, re-signed him. Went out and got Channing Tindall, upgraded the linebacker position. There's just a lot of things to be excited about, right? Re-signing Gesicki, our playmaker at tight end, revamping the entire backfield, getting so much speed at the wide receiver positions. I'm ready, man. I am ready. Like and if McDaniel even remotely does what he did in San Francisco here in Miami, like tries to implement that, we're gonna be a better football team. We are, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have an offensive-minded coach that understands the talent that he has in the room and utilizes that. Now, I will say that this is all optimism. I haven't seen it yet, right? Like, I'm excited about something of the possibility of what could be, but that doesn't mean that that it's going to happen, right? So we have to wait and see. But it's June 19th, or it's July 19th. So on July 19th, I'm excited. Now, you come see me October 19th and we're 0-4, I might have some other things to say. God forbid, knock on wood. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't. I think we got a good football team, and I think we're going to turn some heads in the NFL this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
You're not the only one optimistic around here, because we already discussed about it, and the three of us projected double-digit wins this season and a playoff appearance, and even middle January games, for the Dolphins.
I would love to see that. That'd be great.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that we have a rookie head coach.
We have a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
The rest of the AFC got better, right? The AFC got better. It's not like the AFC stayed the same. They got better, right? And we're not only do we have a rookie head coach, we have an offense that's being implemented. For the most part, that's a new system, right? It's a new offense that's being implemented. So with new players, right, that haven't been on this team. So, I get it and I agree, but I don't, in past years, I would have said, oh, hey, it's a first-year head coach. We'll give him a pass no matter what the season is. Fair or unfair, right? And it is unfair, but it's the reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. McDaniel doesn't get that pass. You have one goal: make the playoffs, win a playoff game. If you do not do that, you have failed. And I'm sorry you only got 1 year, but that's how I feel about it. You get 1 year. You get one shot. Make it count.
Wow.
Cool. Well done. Well said.
Ruben also asks you if you think it will be a failure not going to playoffs this year.
Yes. Yes. A major failure.
Yeah.
You can't make all these off-season moves. You can't bring in a guy like Tyreek Hill. You can't revamp like all the moves that they made. If they go out and not make the playoffs, you can't do that. You can't do that and be taken seriously. You just can't.
Okay. Luis Angel tells I don't trust Ross either. Gigi Davis says you are right. A series. This is gonna be a lot of translating. Ross takes the teams, seeing it as a business. It now looks a little better because he's given the sport touch that Miami needs. Do you agree with that?
Say that again.
So go.
Basically, Osiris is saying that Ross, when he acquired the team, he only looked at it as a business, and he kind of make it for last administration, the Heising, I guess Osiris is talking about, because we inherited Jeff Ireland, Now it looks a little bit better, and it seems like he's getting a little bit more in touch with the sports side of the franchise,
Well, I get his statement. You've been owning the team now for how long has he owned the team now? What year did he buy the team? Do you remember?
But Google
2000.
2000.
2000. 10, I guess.
Okay, so you've owned the team for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten, like, I would hope that after 10 plus years of owning the team, that you've gotten somewhat better at understanding the football side of things. So I think that's just the process of being here for 10 plus years. Like that's going to happen no matter what. Do I think he bought the team for business purposes? No, I don't think so. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think he really wants to win a Super Bowl. I think Stephen Ross really wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win it. And yes. and I think his heart, I'm trying to talk. I've never met Stephen Ross. I don't know him. But if I'm, looking on the outside in, I think his heart is pure from the standpoint of he genuinely wants to bring the city of Miami and Miami Dolphin fans a Super Bowl trophy. Like, he wants that. He wants to say that I helped create a Super Bowl championship team for the Miami Dolphins again. I don't think he wants anything other than that. Now, do I think he's going to get it? The book's still out on that. I hope in the next couple of years we get it, but if it doesn't happen this year, I don't know how it's going to happen. It's going, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. So we're making the playoffs and winning at least 1 or 2 playoff games this year, as far as I'm concerned. And next year we're going to be Super Bowl contenders. That's how I look at it.
I hope that too. So Gigi Davis says this is a 2S year. I agree with that. Ruben, best fast food restaurant in Miami?
Well, there's no fast. Look, fast food and Miami should not ever be in the same sentence. We don't like now. What best restaurants are down in Miami? That's another story. It's funny because Cameron from East 32, Cameron Scott, East 32 Dolphins tailgate, Cameron. Mm-hmm. He's taken me to so many places in, the South Florida area. I don't have a one restaurant, but I would say I love getting a Cuban sandwich. It's one of my favorite things to get. There's so much good food down in Miami, Cuban food, just in general. I'm a big guy, as you can see. So I don't necessarily have a favorite restaurant down there, but I know there's good food because I eat it every time I go down there.
Okay, Osiris. Stephen, I just wanted to hear you say Viva Mexico, cabrones.
Viva Mexico, cabrones!
Yeah, man. Do you know what it means?
What did I just say? Did I just say I hate everybody?
There's kids. There's kids here. But...
Yeah, well, okay. All right, swear jar, right? Swear jar in the morning.
You said Viva Mexico, mother.
Oh, well, yeah. Look, hey, I like it.
Yeah.
Viva Mexico, cabrones!
Do you remember your first Spanish lessons?
No, are you kidding me? I forgot everything you ever taught me, ever. Done. Okay. Just forgot.
Okay.
We want to forget everything Paris says also.
Yeah, well...
I wanna forget.
I don't know if you know this or not, guys, but I do a show every morning, and I have 2 kids. I run another channel. I do a lot of stuff. I'm kind of a big deal around these parts in my place.
You are.
I'm just playing. Okay. I'm just messing. I'm nobody.
I don't think that, but okay. Tony Lujan says, "Oh my God, awesome broadcast. Love Dolphins Nation, Mexico.
Dolphins Nation, Mexico."
Yeah. G. Davis Fair. G. Davis, yes. Pseudo Spike.
Suedo's my guy. What's up, Suedo? Suedo watches the show in the morning.
Okay. G. Davis Low. And G. Davis, Tua to Hill touchdown all day long.
I think we're gonna hear it a lot this year. That's what I hope.
I think it too. So this is about all the comments. So, Churches, do you want to ask a question?
Well, yeah, Stephen. Well, we get a lot of the national press, the national media, from you guys. We get a lot thanks to the internet, thanks to cable. We're not as 20 years ago. It was hard for to that. But as far as national media, what do you think it's the thing with the Dolphins there? What they're talking about? Because I think that what I'm getting from the national media, not talking about the local media beat writers, all the ESPN, CBS, all that stuff, Fox. My guess is they're talking more and more about the Dolphins, and not only about Tua, but about a lot of stuff. Do you think, because in the past, I think they weren't talking about it. It's like they forgot about the Dolphins for a while.
Rightfully so. We haven't, I mean, let's call a spade, right? We haven't been good for 25, 30 years, right? Why should the national media talk about us? We need to be a good football team in order for the national media to you know, I love going to Miami on Sunday afternoons at 1:00 games, right? I do. But I'd like to play some more primetime games. But the only way we're ever going to get more primetime games is if we win football games and we're a good team, right? So here's what I have learned over the last year about the national media. Number one is anybody from the national media who talks about the Miami Dolphins are, and no disrespect here, they're ignorant. They do not watch enough games or enough of the team to make an informed decision about how good or how bad our team is. Now, with that being said, it's obvious to anybody that likes football that the Dolphins have been mediocre for the last 25 years. But when Colin Cowherd comes on, and I use him as the example, and talks about Tua or what he thinks Tua is going to do this year, I trust reason or TD Finstock or Dudley Do Wrong. Heck, I trust you guys more than I trust Colin Cowherd's observation of Tua Tagovailoa, because you guys watch every game. You watch every snap. So you guys have a more informed valuation of somebody like Tua rather than Colin Cowherd, who has not seen every snap. When you guys are talking about the roster from top to bottom, I'm going to trust a beat reporter and somebody who's watched every play over a national media pundit. So I have learned over the last year that national media people are there to do one thing and one thing only, and that's entertain. They're just there to be entertaining. They're just there to – that's why you have your Stephen A. Smiths and your Skip Baylesses and your Colin Cowherds and your Joy Taylor. And I love Joy. You know, I don't mean to bump Joy into the rest of these guys, but I'm going to call – like, she's part of it, right? Like, she's a national media pundit. And national media pundits all have one goal, and that's to get, you know, views, to get clicks. And they need to be controversial. They need to be, you know, say the wild stuff. They need to, you know, be far left or far right on one topic or another, right? So my view of the national media is I think 90% of what comes out of the national media's mouth, they don't even believe that way. They're just there to do it to get clicks, and they're just there to get likes. And that's how I feel about it. You know, I don't take much stock in national media, and that's no disrespect to them. You know, I want to get big enough that I don't know if I want to do national media, but I want to get big enough that, you know, I'm looked at as, you know, people, oh, what does Stephen D think? I would want people to want to know what I think about certain situations or certain topics, you know? So no disrespect to the national media. That's just what they're there for.
Is there somebody in the national media that you actually kind of trust? Because I agree with you. The national media, there are really ignorant about the Dolphins. Like, they really don't know that much. And I'm not talking about the Skip Bayless and the Stephen A. Smiths and the Chris Sims and the Colin Cowherds, because those guys, we have a guy here in Mexico who is kind of like that. It's his last name is Faitelson. You can tell that the guy doesn't know anything about it, but he keeps talking about it.
We know who's never coming on the show now.
Yeah, well, he's a major thing here in Mexico, but he talks about a lot of sports, and you can tell he doesn't know anything about those.
He's ignorant. He's not informed on everything. I get that. I understand it.
He's a polemicist, you know. But there's in the national media, there's some guys that I kind of trust, not fully trust, but at least what they're saying.
Here's who, if from a national media standpoint, here's who you should believe, or here's who you should trust. Trust former players. Trust former players have like Pat McAfee. I trust Pat McAfee more than I trust anybody probably in the national media. He's probably the most, because you want to know why? Pat McAfee has people within his crew that are true fans, like Gump, who's on Pat McAfee's show. If you guys want to see a really good American podcast, go check out Pat McAfee. I have no affiliation to him. Pat McAfee I love Pat McAfee, okay? But he's got a lot of guys in his crew, right? And there's one guy in his crew named Gump Cuthart, I think is his last name, and he's a big Miami Dolphins fan, right? So I'm sure that Pat and Gump have had really good conversations about the Miami Dolphins. So when Pat talks about the Dolphins, granted, it might be through Gump's eyes or what Gump perceives, but I trust his evaluation and his intuition on it more than I would Colin Cowherd's or Skip Bayless's or Shannon Sharp, right? Now, I don't know, maybe Shannon Sharp's, person who dresses him, his stylist, is a big Dolphins fan, and maybe he knows more about the Dolphins than we give him credit for. But what I'm saying is, if you're asking me who I trust more, it's probably Pat McAfee. It's probably, Will Compton off of Bussin' with the Boys, like these guys with these big podcasts. I love these former players. I think these former players know exactly what it takes to win or lose, right? They know what it's like on a day in, day out basis. When they give an evaluation of a team or a player, I take it for what it's worth. They've been inside it. They understand it. They get it. So, yeah, for me, it's probably, if you're asking me one person, it's probably Pat McAfee.
Cameron Wolf. Do you like Cameron Wolf?
Cameron Wolf's great. I've never met Cameron. Cameron's been a very good he's been a very fair beat writer his time when he was here in South Florida. But he's just starting to get into like the big stuff now, right? With NFL Network, and I think this is his second year with Cameron with NFL Network, if I'm correct. He's fair. How about that? But he's growing and he's fair. But I like Cameron. I don't have anything negative to say about Cameron Wolf.
Okay. Bueno, le preguntaba yo a Stephen acerca de que noto que en la prensa, la que llaman la national media en Estados Unidos, o sea, los reporteros, podcast, pero que ven a la NFL desde un punto más global, no tan específico, sobre de un equipo, que yo siento que hablan un poquito más de los Dolphins de lo que hablaban en el pasado. Stephen dice, pues hay un motivo, ¿no? Realmente los Delfines no han sido un equipo regularmente competitivo, por resumir un poco lo que dijo Stephen, en todo este tiempo, y él menciona que de la prensa nacional, ¿quién podemos creerle más? A los que alguna vez fueron jugadores. Menciona muy específicamente a Pat McAfee, que fue punter de los Colts en su momento. Creo que nada más estuvo con los Colts, no recuerdo, estuvo en otro equipo, pero tiene puntos de vista muy particulares, mucho más informados que algunos de los otros que solo buscan clics, views y todo este tipo de situaciones, ¿no? Básicamente eso. Okay. Armando, no sé si tengas una pregunta.
Sí, Armando.
Sí, tengo la última pregunta. This is the last one, Stephen, because you deserve some rest, man.
I know, I got to get it up and do. Tomorrow's Wildin' Out Wednesday, so I get to deal with a whole panel full of crazy people.
Okay, this is the last one, man.
Crazy people. You want to see a wild and crazy show of all Dolphin fans? Tomorrow morning show on Clock Blockers, home of the number one Miami fan morning show, is going to be crazy.
Okay. Steven, is this the best Dolphins roster you ever covered?
Well, covered. I've only been doing the podcast for over. Yes, it is. It's better than last year's team. No, I'll answer the question another way. Is this the best Dolphins team I've ever seen since I've been alive or since I've been a fan? Which is pretty much since I've been alive. That's so tough. You know, when you're looking at a team from top to bottom, you have to take into account offensive talent, defensive talent, special teams, head coach, GM. You know, I would say that I love Greer a lot. I'm very optimistic about McDaniel, but the book is still out on him. Like, we don't know. Tua's the same way. I'm very optimistic about Tua, but the book is still out on him. We don't know. There's a lot of question marks. How about this? I've never been this excited for the future of what could be for this franchise. I think that's a fair statement to say, right? Like, here's a reality. If it works out the way I predict and believe that it will, which is we make the playoffs, we win a 1 or 2 playoff games, right? And we show the NFL, the Dolphins are for real. 2 was for real, which are what I think will happen. Great. We're in a great place. Now, let's play devil's advocate. If the Dolphins suck for whatever reason and lose and have a losing record, we have all these guys that we can release that won't be, we'll make the cap work. We got 5 draft picks in the top 100 next year. There's so much capital to do whatever we need to do, whether that's go out and sign some free agent quarterback that's, been a veteran and won, whether that's, drafting the quarterback of our future, whether that's whatever the case is. Is it what I want to do or hope? No, I hope that Tua turns out to be the guy and we can parlay this into just making this roster kick ass for the next 10 years. But if it doesn't, I'm also going to say not the end of the world either, because we have a lot of capital and there's a lot of opportunity to whoever takes over this team one way or the other. So to answer your question, I think I've never been more excited for the future of our franchise than right now. Do I think that this is the best team we've ever had since I've been alive? I can't say that yet because, that defense in the early 2000s was absolutely amazing. We know that Dan Marino was better than Tua, obviously. So yeah. I can't say he's, but. The
92-93 roster, I think I
was 5 years old. I was 4 and 5 years old then. So I don't remember it that well. But yes, it was. I should have said that this morning with Richmond Webb and OJ McDuffie when they were on. I was, guys, just so you know, I was 4 and 5 years old in your rookie years. Just so you guys know, but I was probably 7 or 8. I can't do math. 94, 95. If 95, I would have been 7 years old, 8 years old. So, wow, bad at math. It's the end of the night. I'm tired.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
¿Quieres que lo
comente?
Sí, conduce. Bueno, el mismísimo patrón le preguntaba al otro patrón, Stephen, acerca de que si este es el equipo, el roster más completo que ha visto de los Dolphins, por lo menos desde que los cubre o desde que los ve. Stephen, pues dice que prefiere contestar, básicamente, que este es con el roster con el que está más emocionado desde hace mucho tiempo, ¿no? En cuanto al mejor roster, pues es difícil, hablando de, pues, la defensa que teníamos en los tempranos 2000, ¿no? Yo le menciono el equipo del 92, 93, pues él comenta que él estaba muy chico en aquel entonces, tenía 4 o 5 años. De hecho, se menciona que hoy en Clock Blockers tuvo a OJ McDuffie y a Richmond Webb, y que olvidó preguntarles que él tenía 4 y 5 años en sus años de novatos. Yo también, pero bueno, yo sí los vi, ¿no? yo sí vi a McDuffie en el colegial. I do remember OJ at college. I do remember him at college. and I do remember when we drafted Richmond. I was
Mm-hmm.
talking about that you were saying that you were really young when they were rookies. Well,
Yeah.
I was also young, but not that young, and I do remember him.
You were young.
I was young. I was like 8, 7, 8.
Yeah, we were the set. What year were you born?
83.
I was born in 88.
Yeah, we're 5 years away.
Yeah. You could be
Don't-
my older brother if I had an older brother.
Genius.
Don't ask the other guys because they're really old. Really old.
Please, no.
My redheaded older brother. I got
Yeah.
Ok,
Love it.
muy bien.
Okay.
Vámonos, muchachos, vámonos.
Así es. So, Stephen, we want to thank you for being here.
No, I want to thank you guys. Let me say this.
Okay, go.
You guys do this all the time. And when I asked you guys to come on and do this show, I asked you guys to take a leap of faith that, hey, look, this is something that I want to expand and I want to grow. And I know that I've been so focused on my own stuff. And so I don't know if I've done you guys a great service in being there for you all the time. But what I will say is I trust you guys. I trust you guys to run this and do this all the time. And it means a lot to me that you guys take the DWA brand, Dolphins with Attitude, that Solo D created, and you guys take this and you move it to an opportunity. I don't care if you guys have 10, 15, 20, 30 people watching, because I think that there's something there to the Spanish-speaking Miami Dolphin community that needs to grow. And in order for that to happen, they just need to know that it's there. And I think over time, and it's going to take time, I think that they'll see that this podcast is here. It's just going to take time. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys doing this. And I'm excited for the future of you guys. I think that there's a lot, that this is going to be, this season will be a lot of fun. Look, you guys, you got to be excited about doing a Dolphins podcast during the season that we got coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun, So I just want to say thank you for doing a Spanish-speaking podcast on my platform, on Miami Sports Music, and you guys are absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
It's been a
it.
pleasure for us. And even if we don't get the explosion, the success, we are gladly making this, my friend. So it doesn't matter.
I just want you guys happy. That's all I care about. If you guys aren't happy, then I'm not happy. So are you guys happy? Shake your head, yes.
course,
Make
my
everybody's
man. Yes,
watching.
sir.
Say yes. I'm a very happy person here. Okay, just making sure. I love you guys. You guys are good, man. Are you guys coming to? Are you guys coming to any games this year?
I'll be in Miami for the home opener, my man.
You are?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'll be there
Let's
too.
go. Oh my God!
I'll be there.
Good news.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't make any announcements yet, but I got some. And the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be making some big announcements for this season. So we got some.
Wow.
Okay.
We got some big stuff coming up on the channel. It's gonna be good stuff this year. Are you
Okay,
guys? What about fan club weekend? Have you guys thought about coming?
Yes, sir.
to Fan Club
Yes, sir.
Weekend?
I'll be there.
Any one of you two guys going or what's up?
I don't know yet, but actually, if I go, I'm still hoping I will be. Maybe the week after fan club weekend.
The Sunday night game, the Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Yeah.
So you know the London guys, the UK guys, they're gonna be there for that and are throwing a big beach party that Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Before the
Yes,
Sunday
sir.
game.
I
My
didn't know,
brother
but
Wayne and my
Yes.
brother Martin.
Yeah. So shout out to Martin and Wayne.
Wayne and
Love
Robbie.
those guys.
Robbie's
Robbie's my guy. Love Robbie.
Yes, sir.
That's the best part about doing this show or doing this podcast, right? Like you or being a Dolphins fan, you guys never would have met anybody from the UK, the US, let alone the UK, right? So it's been such a cool thing to have relationships with those guys and that fan club over there, and then you guys, and not to mention the France has a fan club, and Germany has. Shout out to Germany having their fan club, and there's just so many cool things, man. So they got a lot of cool stuff going on this year.
Okay.
That's right.
Couldn't agree more. I'm not going maybe in the December, January games because you have to congratulate me. I'm going to be a father again.
Yeah. No sleep. Team no sleep.
No sleep. Yeah. 3 months of no sleep and to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
So
hope it's only 3 months.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Let's hope it's
I hope
cross
that
our fingers. Cross our fingers.
Okay.
Hey, if y'all are watching right now and you speak a little English or a little Espanol and you can understand my English, hit the like button. You know, share this. Let people know that we're here. These guys are, working very hard, and there's a lot of great work being done on this show and this channel, period. But, hit the like button for these guys. They're absolutely amazing. Let people know. Donate to the channel. You guys can donate. See the super chat button down at the bottom of the chat. Hit that. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. We'd love to see you guys donate. Can we get one donation here tonight? Let's get one more. Let's get one donation before we leave. It could be $1. Or what do you guys? What's your currency?
It's 21 pesos.
All right, 21 pesos. We get 21 pesos.
Okay.
Or $21. One of the two. It doesn't matter. Your choice. Whatever you think is best.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
We can get some.
You guys are great, man. I love what you guys do, and so Armand, you're going to be down for week 1. That'll be
yes,
cool.
sir.
So you'll join me on the pregame show for that pregame show. When do you fly in? Do you know?
I think Saturday.
Saturday? Okay. All right. Well, let me know when you're here, and we'll get up. And
Okay, my brother. Got it, my man.
And then you'll be hanging out at East 32 Dolphins tailgate, right?
Of course, my man. Of course. See you there, man.
I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head up, and we're gonna have a big year this year. Miami sports music's gonna take over the world. The world.
Of course, man.
All right, guys. Be good. I love you guys. Be good.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for being here.
Anytime, man.
It's been a great show.
Been fun.
Get some rest, my man.
I know. I'm about to go. Yeah. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired.
Thank you so much.
And then I get to deal with all the craziness tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Clock Blockers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. Y'all check it out. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you, man. Peace.
No se olviden, amigos, de mañana sintonizar Clock Blockers con nuestro amigo Stephen Daniels. Es si no estoy mal, a las 7 de la mañana, tiempo de la Ciudad de México, 8 para aquellos que están en la costa este. O sea, nadie de los que...
Nadie, pero ¿por qué no decirlo?
Bueno, es un montón de gente, pero bueno, por ejemplo, creo que Rubén, Susana, si no estoy mal, ustedes sí tienen el tiempo del este, ¿no? Ya creo que en Cancún,
la East Coast,
en Cancún ya se sienten tan gringos que no ustedes, sino Cancún, que ya tienen el horario de la costa este, ¿no? Pues ha sido estupendo tener a Stephen aquí. Es un show que por muchos meses hemos querido tener. Stephen es pues básicamente el patrón del patrón y el automático nuestro patrón, quien nos ha dejado poder compartir con ustedes este podcast de HELLFINS, que ya pues ya prácticamente un año haciéndolo con ustedes, con mucho cariño, con el que ustedes nos escriban, el que ustedes comenten, el que ustedes nos promuevan, pues nos motiva a hacer un show cada vez mejor.
O eso esperamos.
O hacerlo peor intentando hacerlo mejor, no sé, tal vez somos el Mike Tannenbaum de los podcasts de los delfines. ¿No? Pero ha sido, la verdad, un placer estar haciéndolo y lo seguiremos haciendo de aquí hasta que ustedes nos sigan viendo, ¿no?
Bueno, pues vamos a despedirnos, ¿qué les parece?
Genial.
¿Cómo te despides, patrón? Qué bueno que estuviste por acá.
No, pues agradeciendo mucho a los que estuvieron sintonizándonos el día de hoy. Recuerden seguir apoyando HELLFINS, aquí vamos a estar, se viene lo bueno, reportaron los rookies al training camp, así es de que se viene lo bueno, señores, está esto por iniciar. Muchas gracias, buenas noches y nos vemos aquí la semana que entra con más contenido genial de los Miami Dolphins en español. Muchas gracias, mi querido Chochos, muchas gracias, mi querido París. Un gusto, como siempre, estar con ustedes. Los quiero mucho. Go Dolphins. ¡Vamos, Dolphins!
Abrazo, bro. ¿Tú, Chochos, cómo te despides?
Pues de nuevo agradeciendo a todos ustedes, thanking everybody, porque hay gente de habla inglesa aquí con nosotros. Muchas gracias a todos los que nos han escrito, a todos los que nos dan su like, a todos los que están al pendiente del podcast, también a ti, Osiris, aunque no estés tan al pendiente, pero aquí andas, cosa que apreciamos bastante. Pues ya, recuerden, ya reportaron, si no estoy mal, o mañana, si no estoy mal.
Hoy reportaron
los novatos.
Los novatos.
Tanto las elecciones colegiales del draft anterior como los undrafted free agents, los agentes libres no drafteados. O sea que ya viene el training camp, ya tendremos más cosas de qué platicar, pero mientras siempre un gusto estar con todos ustedes, con Paris, con el patrón. Agradecido, cuídense mucho y fins up.
Muchas gracias, Chochos. Y bueno, pues yo a todos les digo, denle like, suscríbanse a nuestro canal, dennos vistas, las vistas nos ayudan mucho. Si les gusta, recomiéndenos. Si no les ayuda, recomiéndenos a sus enemigos, pero recomiéndenos anyway. Y pues gracias a todos, Hellbros, fins up. Pasen una excelente noche. Gracias, Chochos. Armando, qué bueno que nos pudiste acompañar. Muy buenas noches a todos. Fins up.